Hello friend, Zachary Stockill here from retroactivejealousy.com. If you are enjoying these videos, if you'd like me to continue doing this, please be sure to click the like button below. Also be sure you're subscribed to my channel. Today I'd like to share an idea which I don't think I've spoken a whole lot about on this channel, and that is a neat little way to think about your retroactive jealousy, which I believe kind of takes away some of the power, some of the intimidation which you might associate with your retroactive jealousy. And this little technique involves, to some extent, personifying your retroactive jealousy. This is going to sound really weird, but just bear with me for a minute here. Okay, so I think in my online course, Get Over Your Partner's Past Fast, as well as other places, probably in the blog and stuff, I've described retroactive jealousy and looking at retroactive jealousy as the character Fat Bastard from the Austin Powers series of films, comedies, from the 90s and early 2000s. I imagine most people are familiar with them, at least people my age. They still hold up, by the way. They're still pretty funny. But anyway, there's a character in these films called Fat Bastard. And he's this enormous sort of whale-like figure who's morbidly obese. And if you take a look at Fat Bastard, oh, by the way, he's one of the villains of the film, so this also helps. But anyway, if you take a look at Fat Bastard sort of from the outside looking in, he's kind of intimidating. You know, he weighs something like a metric ton or something. He's enormous. He's, you know, it looks like he's pretty strong. He's got a lot of weight. He can probably mess you up pretty good. However, he's very slow and he's very stupid. And I kind of think this is a good way to think about retroactive jealousy. And thus, in my premium online course, Get Over Your Partner's Past Fast, I present all these techniques to kind of get around Fat Bastard, aka retroactive jealousy. Ways to deal with it that kind of get you around this seemingly intimidating force that's holding you back. There's a bunch of exercises, practices, perspectives which really help with this. But anyway, I also like thinking about retroactive jealousy as almost like a person and naming it and kind of personifying it, because in my view, it kind of takes away some of the power of this phenomenon we know as retroactive jealousy. And it can also help when you're dealing with some thoughts, or maybe intrusive thoughts, or obsessive curiosity, or maybe a mental movie about your partner's past. It can help to kind of think about retroactive jealousy as a person, because you can tell yourself, and you can tell this person, retroactive jealousy, like, I'm not listening to you right now. You're full of it. You're telling me things that I know aren't true. You're trying to mess me up. You're trying to send me down this rabbit hole. You're just my ego. You're just insecurity. You're just noise in my head, and I'm not going to listen to you. Like, screw you kind of thing. It can actually help to tell this retroactive jealousy demon this in certain moments. So an author and a speaker and a YouTuber who I really like is a guy called Caleb Jones. He runs a channel called, I think it's called Alpha Male 2.0. Lots of really good stuff on there. I interviewed him for this podcast, for my podcast. And anyway, in one of his books, he talks about naming your obsolete, what he calls obsolete biological wiring. He calls it grog, like this caveman in your head. And this similarly, I think you can kind of apply this little technique, this method, to retroactive jealousy. And maybe you can come up with something that works best for you. Maybe you like calling your retroactive jealousy this ridiculous caveman in your head. You can call him grog. Or for me, I liked calling him Fat Bastard, or whatever, you know? You can kind of personify it and kind of talk to him or her sometimes as a demon in your head. You can kind of strip some of its power by doing this. You can make fun of it. You can kind of laugh at it in certain moments. This should help take away some of the anxiety, some of the tension, because especially if you actually put in the work and really get a handle on what's true and what's not, get your values very clear, arrive at some important conclusions regarding your partner's past, and when you really arrive at this full-bodied understanding that, you know, the RJ noise in your head is really just noise, it's not reality, it's not real. Once you get very clear about this, you can actually name the little demon, you can poke fun at him, and hopefully this will take away some of the tension and anxiety, because you realize that all this noise in your head is just that. It's just nonsense provoked by this little RJ demon, and it becomes much easier to kind of brush him off when you can kind of look at him and point at him and make fun of him a little bit. So there you have it, just a quick little idea which you might find helpful. If you did find this video useful, please be sure to click the like button below. Also be sure you're subscribed to my channel, and I'll talk to you again very soon.